Harry Gold's the name, speed drawing's my game. I'm secretly a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. So much so that in my spare time I like to create my own original Sonic fan characters, or OCs, that I come up with myself. Like this guy. He's a green frog that plays the banjo. I call him Kermit the Frog. Pretty cool, right? I'm going to show you more Sonic OCs that I invented all by myself in order to demonstrate how you can make your very own. Your OCs are going to be so way past cool, people will want to steal them. Coming to you from beautiful downtown Fortitude Valley, it's the Harry Gold Show, with your host, Harry Gold. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the program. Many fans like to invent new characters designed to fit within their favorite media franchises, and none are more notorious on the internet than fans of the Sonic the Hedgehog series of video games. A lot of those fans have room for improvement, so I'd like to give a few helpful pointers to those burgeoning Sonic enthusiasts. So here's the most common pitfall. Everyone does hedgehogs. Hedgehogs as far as the eye can see. Just Google your first name with the hedgehog after it and brace your faith in humanity. See, that's not too bad. I guess oh no. Even in the Sonic series, hedgehogs are overdone. Sonic, Amy, Shadow, Silver, Fat Sonic, Shadow but with a sword, Princess Peanuts or whatever her name is. Was she a squirrel or something? I don't know. Not canon. Don't care. The point is, if you want to make a character that will stand out, choose literally any animal you can think of other than a hedgehog. Something you can already find in the Sonic world is a good place to start, like this cat OC I'm drawing now. But the Sonic cast gives you plenty of choice, be it foxes, crocodiles, armadillos, albatrosses, or whatever the heck Fang the Sniper is supposed to be. But does anyone actually care about Fang the Sniper? All that said, there's never even been a such and such the dog among the central cast of the games. Also, no mice, lions, elephants, narwhals, dugongs, or naked mole rats. Not to mention a notable lack of fish, crustaceans, and mollusks. As that guy that sorta looks like Brent Spiner once said, it's free real estate. Move over Big the Cat and Blaze the Cat. Meet your new favorite member of Team Sonic, my original character, Felix the Cat. There's also a motley assortment of robots and pan-dimensional apocalypse monsters in this franchise, and human character designs which are about as consistent as the canon of The Simpsons, but for the sake of simplicity, we're going to ignore all of them. Constructing a Sonic character, like emulating any existing art style, is all about observation. Look at all the Sonic characters and see what they have in common. Their games are all broken. Quiet you. Most of the Sonic cast have nearly identical proportions. But what about... I said most! Under their angular head tendrils, they have an enormous spherical skull. Their torso is an oversized pinto bean that comes in under head length. The husky end of the kidney makes the shoulders for the cool characters and the hips for the cute/useless characters. People with necks need not apply, but limbs are fairly lanky, arms being approximately skull length and legs a bit longer still. They're narrower where they connect to the body than at their extremities, just like Roll from Mega Man's hideous mutant Popeye cankles. They all have whopping great Disneyland costume gloves, which are about 2/3 the length of their skull ball, as well as high-tech clown sneakers, which are also approximately skull length. On the subject of shoes, here's an extra tip we can learn from Tikal the Echidna. Tikal? Tickle? Tickle? For one thing, don't name your character something that sounds like a euphemism. But more importantly, for the love of God, avoid open-toed shoes like the plague. Why do they have clearly defined human digits on their hands, but weird half-amputated paddle feet? Of course, I used all of these principles while designing another OC of mine. He's a platypus with a hat that's also a spy. I call him Perry the Platypus. Let's dive deeper into what makes these characters tick. Once again, look at them all and ask yourself, what do they have in common? They're all hotties! You want to go home and rethink your life. For instance, you might notice they all have something around their wrists. I couldn't tell you why that's where Sega draws the line for full frontal nudity, but nonetheless, be it glove, bangle, or wrist guard, carpal modesty is the rule. Now the eyes essentially come in two shapes and two styles. Style-wise, they are either A, separate objects, or B, giant disgusting cyclops eyes that connect in the middle, as famously sported by the Blue Blur himself. Shape-wise, they basically come in ovoid and Vegeta. The designated nice guys usually have the rounded eyes, while moody brooders and aspiring edgelords have eyes that come to a point. The ladies also all have prominent eyelashes, either 1 or 2 per eye. No more, no less. No exceptions. Additionally, everyone has the exact same kind of vertical, rice-shaped irises with precisely one, count 'em, one white dot. None of that glassy-eyed anime hogwash here. This is a single highlight household, dadgummit, just as the good Lord intended it. Important facial feature numero 3 is the mouthpiece. Almost every creature in this universe has a similar, separate muzzly thing where their nose and mouth is. I'm at a bit of a loss to describe the shape succinctly. A bean, a dumpling, a hemorrhaged hacky sack. It sort of resembles a particulate mask, especially if you tried to make one out of Play-Doh. Even Espio the Chameleon and the 3 Caballeros from Sonic Riders all feature this same tacked-on snout cushion. The Sonic cast members also have small mouths that often skew to one side, the exception being beaked characters whose mouths cleave the entire muzzle blob, like this sharp-dressed bird OC here, who I have named Howard the Duck. Though all of the characters have a sphere at the base of their head construction, most have hair or feathers which fill out their head shape and give them a radical hairstyle. Most of the gang have a little black jelly bean nose, even animals that shouldn't, like Rouge and Charmy. However, only the dominant characters flex on the rest with their big meaty eyebrow ridges. Clothing is a bit of a free-for-all. It ranges from nothing but shoes and gloves to covered completely from the neck down. The girls all wear clothes, though. If that sort of thing bothers you, well, here's a phone. Dial 1-800-NAKED-BAT-CLEAVAGE and tell someone who cares. The pose is a really important part of the Sonic style. They have to be dynamic, energetic, and weirdly bendy looking. I mean, are his bones made of cheese? They also really like doing this thing that looks like sitting on invisible chairs. I couldn't possibly tell you why. Sonic's art style has slick, smooth outlines with a lot of variable width. It's heavier around the outside of the character than the details inside. More complex elements are often drawn with a lot of straight edges, while other parts, like the limbs, tend to have smooth curves. When it comes to color, there is one rule to live and die by in the Sonic universe. The only wrong color is the right color. Do you know what hedgehogs aren't? Blue, pink, or Darth Maul, white bats, purple cats, yellow polar bears with hats. Gloves are usually white, muzzles are often flesh tone, but it's basically all up to you. Get that? I'm officially passing the buck on this one. The style of shading here is very recognizable. Sonic characters have all of these rim-lit edges, and pretty much anywhere you see highlights, there is simple gradient shading leading up to it. Additionally, the highlights themselves contain gradated shading, and there are also block shadows being cast by some of the body parts. It makes the designs look very slick and shiny, just like this cool OC I came up with. A lot of people just go and slap any name they can think of on there. Dave the Hedgehog, Kyle the Hedgehog, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez the Hedgehog. Nobody's named like that in these games. Every animal character in the franchise, with a couple of inexplicable exceptions, is named for an object or a concept. Knuckles, Shadow, Rouge, all things. Sonic, Mighty, Big, all descriptors. So I guess my OCs should really be more like Banjo the Frog, Memes the Platypus, and Cholesterol the Hut. There you go. Now you know all the basics for how to make your very own original Sonic characters. Just be sure to keep everything you do with this information on the right side of Google's Safe Search. Please.
Yesterday I posed myself a question. A very simple question. And that question was, what if Disney's Mickey Mouse did the Sonic Adventure pose? And so, me being me, and considering the abilities a person such as myself has, I decided to answer that question.
Oh boy, you're too slow.
Let's play a game. I'll draw someone famous, and the first 3 people to guess who it is in the comments get a shout out when I tell you the answer in the next episode. If your guess last time was calling out from Scatland, the one and only Scatman John, then you were quite correct. Scuba Diver performed swimmingly, coming in first. Luke guessed Ghost correctly, taking second. And I'm going to take a wild punt at this and say Hodalan Oliveira came in third. Well done everyone, thanks for playing. This week's subject has the kind of nose that could save them ever having to buy a letter opener. Prominent incisors occupy a conspicuous position in their perma-frown, and their eyes are huge and glassy with heavy lids, like the kind of jar you'd need to catch Mothra. Their jaw is substantial but not long, and terminates in a pointy chin, less like a cowcatcher and more like a shoehorn. Thusly, their features come together to form a resemblance to a remarkably neurotic owl. Now who could this be? If you know who that was, let us know in the comments. While you're at it, liking and subscribing really helps us rake in the Nielsen's, so we would be most appreciative. But this has been the Harry Gold Show. So until next time, stay safe, and God bless.